Welcome to Faking It. As always, we are your hosts,
Ariel.
and Morgan.
We're two intimacy coordinators here to talk about the spicy scenes you see in film and TV.
And welcome to this bonus episode. This is where we pick a movie or TV show we have been dying to squeeze into the lineup and dive straight into the heart of the intimacy.
It's the concentrated version of our usual episodes, all the spice, none of the filler. We react to a scene live, run it through our spice scale, and let the conversation flow.
This will be our last episode before we take a break for the holidays, but don't worry, we will be back January 7th with more episodes of Faking It.
Let's get into it. We have gotten so many requests to cover this project. So as an extra special holiday treat, we're going to talk about Heated Rivalry.
I just want to say this show dropped November 28th. There are only 2 episodes out, and we have already gotten so many requests. The last episode's going to drop on December 26th, and so many people were like, are you going to talk about Heated Rivalry? You should totally talk about Heated Rivalry. And then I saw it, and I was like, fuck yeah, we're going to talk about this show.
First day alone, I had like 6 people asking. I was like, I don't even know what you're talking about. And I love romance novels and stuff. And now I have seen the episodes, and now I have thoughts and feelings.
Okay. Before we get into all of our thoughts and feelings,
Of course.
just going to do a little bit of background
Beautiful.
for those who don't know or just want to hear it again. Heated Rivalry is a romance limited series, although if it does well enough, maybe they'll say it was always meant to be multiple seasons. Created, written by, and directed by Jacob Tierney, based on the books Heated Rivalry from 2009 and The Long Game from 2022, the second and sixth novels in Rachel Reed's 6-book series, Game Changers.
Not to be confused with the TV show Game Changer.
Now I really want to read the books, just like everybody else.
Oh, we should read the books and then do another bonus episode about the books.
Oh my God, yes. Yes. I have context for the scene that I wrote, but I saw this storyline written on IMDb and it was so perfect. I wanted to read it word for word because it's so good. Shane Hollander and Ilya Rozanov are 2 of the biggest stars in Major League Hockey, bound by ambition, rivalry, and a magnetic pull neither of them understands. What begins as a secret fling between 2 confused teenagers at 17 evolves into a years-long journey of love, denial, and self-discovery. Torn between the sport they live for and the love they can't ignore, Shane and Ilya must decide if there's room in their fiercely competitive world for something as fragile and powerful as real love. That's so good.
That's amazing, but also, I did not know they're supposed to be 17.
Yeah, me neither.
Wow.
I assumed they were freshmen in college.
I assumed they were like 25 because I wasn't paying attention enough, apparently.
We don't know sports.
I don't know anything about sports.
But it makes sense that this is happening over 8 years because I remember, I think it's in the first episode that they skip through like 2 years. Like, guys, there are only so many episodes in the season.
They're like, we got to get through this. Move. It's Heated Rivalry, baby. We're gonna do spoilers, so if you have not seen the first 2 episodes, just keep that in mind. Maybe watch them first and then come back. But I also want to say, there is more sex than show in this show. It's
great.
wild.
The show knows why we're here.
The show also had an intimacy coordinator.
Intimacy coordinated by Chala Hunter.
I want to share some thoughts and feelings just as in an overarching sense.
Yes, give it to me.
Overarchingly, I think it's really well done. Some of the most realistic and authentic sex scenes I've seen between men on TV. Some of them maybe go on a little long for me.
Hard disagree, but go on.
Okay, that's fine. The actors are doing a great job, and I love that they found actors who, as far as I am aware, have not done a lot before, because I think that's really refreshing. and to show that you don't need A-list talent in order to have like a hit on your hands. You just need the right people, which I appreciate. I think the show is too dark. Like lighting wise, I
Oh,
think the
yes.
show is too dark.
Yes.
My last gripe is that in the second episode, I couldn't get my captions, my closed captioning to work, so I don't know what anyone was saying in Russian. So I feel like I missed like a good chunk of the context of the show.
Okay, I agree that the actors are wonderful in this. I do respectfully disagree about the length of the
Okay.
simulated sex scenes, and this is why. Too often, queer intimacy scenes are cut short. There are so many hetero sex scenes that we see top to bottom practically. We can talk about the first time that the two of them hook up. When I was watching that scene, I genuinely thought it was going to cut off like 30 seconds in, because that's kind of the expectation that's been set for
Hmm.
male on male sex scenes in film and TV. And I was so happy that it went through the whole process and the moments afterwards until Ilya leaves. I was like, we never get this. And I thought it, mm, it just healed my little queer heart.
I love that. And I hear you. You're not wrong. For me, it's less seeing the full sex scene beginning to end. There was too much time per sex scene in the episode.
Sure.
But I also think it's an editing issue for me because I feel like a sexier, stronger vibe is if you're gonna do cutaways, don't like fade to black and then we're back in like a slightly different angle and then we fade to black and we're slightly different angle. Like, show an arm, show a grip, chest heaving, show a buttocks clench. I think that can serve the story better and show time progressing a little sexier than like a fade to black and we're back into the same moment, more or less.
Sure, sure. I see that. It's a romance. That's why we're here, baby, you know?
Love a
Yeah,
sex scene
I love
and
it.
love
I
a
know you
queer
do.
sex scene.
There's a Vulture article titled Heated Rivalry is a Horny Gay Dream Come True by
Good.
Brian Moylan. And he said, it's the perfect show for the moment because for the first time, it's meeting the gay community exactly where it is. The gay audience came, hee hee, for the sex scenes, but they're staying for a fantasy of sexual liberation without consequence. So often when we see two men having sex in film and TV, someone is either in the closet or there is the threat of death, whether that is from bullying or AIDS or something else. There's always something weighing on it. It's so rare that we get to see just joyous, liberated gay sex without anything else in the story saying that something bad is going to happen. And I think that's also why I enjoyed seeing all of it, is because we just really don't get that.
I love it, but they are kind of in the closet.
They
At
are
least
they
in
are
those
in the
first two
closet.
episodes.
They are. Yes, that's true.
I do assume that later on they come out and there are no consequences, and that is a beautiful thing, and I'm glad nobody dies.
Ilya is from Russia, and that has
Yeah.
very high stakes for a queer person. And they're in a sport that is like very traditionally masculine. So there are lots of
Mm-hmm.
reasons why they can't be out. But yeah, I love that the sex just felt very liberated. Should we
Let's
watch a
watch some.
little
Yeah, I think we should watch some.
more?
I've heard some stuff about a back arch that
Yeah,
everybody loves.
we're just going to have to watch a couple of the scenes
I
and
th-
find where
oh
specifically the
no.
back arch is. Oh, no.
A travesty. So this is episode 1, Rookies. The timestamp is 1407 if you want to follow along. Showering. Very good. This was so good and unexpected.
So good. Shane is showering by himself. Ilya walks in the background into the shower next to his.
He's checking him out.
Mm. We see them both from behind. Full rear nudity. Now Shane's checking Ilya out.
Perfect masking. Can't see
Great masking.
anything.
Ilya's turning around and he's like, here's my body.
Ooh. He rose his eyebrows at his genitalia.
Ilya is
Ooh.
pleasuring himself and facing him. There is eye contact.
And it's like a hooded eye.
Yeah.
Oh, Shane's out.
Shane says not here. Not no, just not here.
That was glorious. Such beautiful eye movements, telling the entire story. Like, his eyes look to his face, then he looks down at his pelvis, and then he looks back up at his face, but his eyes are hooded now because we're showing sexual interest in this. And it's just, authenticity. It's so nice.
Wait, when you say eyes are hooded, what do you mean?
When you kind of look up from under your eyelashes and they're just, your eyelids are heavy.
Okay.
Because when you are, like, physiologically feeling sexual attraction, your eyes will droop a little bit because you're just, like, in the moment, and your breathing will get a little heavy, and your lips will fill with blood, and your penis will fill with blood, and it's very exciting.
Bedroom eyes.
His stare darkened, another way to describe it.
Okay.
Books. Yeah.
Okay, author, Ariel.
Listen, I read a lot of romance novels, and a lot of people are like, what does his eyes darkened mean? And it means they darken.
They're thinking, dark
there. Honestly, it's a really small thing. It's like you tilt the forehead ever so slightly down, you close the eyes, then you just kind of look up a little bit. But it can also look evil if you do it slightly wrong. So there's a trick to it.
I love the scene. I love that he walks in and takes the shower directly next to him, which, there's probably that guy code.
Yeah.
You don't do that. You leave one in between, right? But he's like, oh, I'm right there. Hello. And then the looks back and forth. Should we move on to the second scene, which is not that long after this one?
Let's
fucking do it.
Let's do it. Let's do it, baby.
Okay, so we're at 1726 for those following along. I love the way Ilya's moving around him and now pushing him into the wall.
Bad idea.
I love a hand on a chin when it's not an aggressive. I love a little chin action. We have touching of the hair, of the chest. I also really liked, and I saw this in a bunch of the scenes, Ilya has like a chest thing.
Yes.
He always reaches towards Shane's chest, and I think that that's a really good detail.
Yeah, I noticed. I think they both do that. They both reach for the chest, which I don't think I could be wrong that they both do it, but I don't think I've seen that in another male sex scene before, and I loved that.
There are things that people have, like sexual proclivities, where they do a move, and they'll do the move a lot,
Mm-hmm.
I also think it's interesting they always call each other by their last names.
That's a sports thing.
Yeah, is it? Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know anything about sports.
So Shane dropped just out of frame. You can see a little bit of the top of his head. He's simulating oral sex on Ilya.
We have a sharp inhale through the nose. Love it. You're making him stop.
Because it was too good. Oh, I love that brush of his face. That was so sweet. A lot of really non-sexual intimate touching that they just very casually do during the simulated sex scenes and afterwards that I really love.
Even like that, he just put his fist on his abs. Like, he just...
Yeah!
that was nice.
It feels very natural.
Yes.
And
there's still a stress. Like, Shane is clearly a little tense still.
Yes.
But it's still a comfortable, trusting moment.
Totally. Shane's also generally a more uptight person, so...
Yes. And we love a kissing down the jaw and into the neck.
Rubbing his shoulder.
Also very smooth touches. Something I find a lot with actors is that they'll do a touch and it gets caught on the skin a little bit. These are very smooth touches.
You can tell the actors have a lot of trust and comfort with each other. Okay, now Ilya is on the bed. He is taking off the rest of his clothes, including his socks. Now he's lying back. Shane is carefully taking off his clothing and folding it. Great character detail.
He's laughing at him for doing that. All right, we have a shot of buttocks.
Great shot of Ilya's chest.
Also, him just breathing, like breathing
Mhm.
heavily. I love it. And they are a millimeter above the modesty garment,
Yep.
I'm sure. But we see none of it, and that's gorgeous. Oh, he kept his socks on. Ah!
Kept his socks up. But did you see that move? Like, he got down on the bed and turned, and Ilya's knee was just in place so we wouldn't see his modesty garment.
Gorgeous. Gorgeous. And very hard to do, right?
Yes. I also love how much communication there is between the two of them. I feel like a lot of times, especially when we see male-male scenes, there's very little communication.
Oh, I'm seeing that anchor point. I'm seeing that anchor point motion.
Shane is
Hate the
simulating
sock.
oral. I love the sock. It's so good. It's so good. He's sticking that foot out so you can see. It's making a really beautiful shape and profile. Ilya has his hand on the back of Shane's head. Like, he's holding it, but we can tell he's not, like, forcing him down. The kiss after is also a very sweet, like, intimate moment.
We love to see that.
Love it.
And then he moves away.
I mean, this is a great back arch. This actor really moves like an athlete, too.
They both do. I think that they must both be like hockey players or something.
I think the actor playing Ilya is more an athlete. I was watching this with my partner, and she is such a jock, so she always calls this out. And she was like, the actor playing Ilya feels like an athlete.
Here's the chest moment. I love this.
Yes.
If the story on screen is to be believed, he has like a 10-inch penis, which is a thing, and people have that. That's just the story that's being told.
Ilya swallowed as opposed to being moved away. And so that's like another little detail of intimacy. I love it.
I love it too.
I thought the masking work was great. I thought all of the movements felt so organic. The smoothness that you were talking about, I think especially with more muscular, athletic characters, we might expect more like athletic movements, and maybe it's more like pushing and stuff. Like, you think of like Brokeback Mountain and the way that they had sex that first time, where it felt like they were doing a lot more like sharp staccato movements between the two of them. And I know they're like slightly different characters, but I think that's that kind of model we see a lot more often with male on male scenes, especially when they're more like muscular, athletic, like traditionally macho, whatever. And I loved this didn't do that. I loved how much Ilya, who's usually so much more standoffish, is so intimate with Shane and so sweet to him, especially after finding out this is his first time. I really loved that.
I really have no notes. I think there were idiosyncrasies that I really appreciated because a lot of the time you don't get to see those in simulated sex scenes. They're like put to the wayside. We don't have time for that. Let's just see the action and make sure that the story makes sense. I think giving it those extra details of like, this is what this character is like in bed is so beautiful. It rounds out the story. No notes. Loved.
This always bothers me when we're telling the story of like these two are meant to be together, and the first time they have a sexual encounter, everything has to go smoothly or they're not meant to be. And I liked that this felt true to a first hookup where there were little moments of misunderstanding. It wasn't like a perfectly smooth act, which is more realistic.
And even just like the detail of him grabbing the tissue.
Yeah.
Because there would be a little bit of a mess.
Yeah.
Sometimes in movies, like in TV, it's movie magic. It's gone.
Yeah.
We're clean and we're good to go now. So I appreciate the little extra details of that. And when he walked away, like, that was fun. Like, he's going to leave. And he's just like, what?
That was so good. Yeah, I love his playfulness. I really loved the story of not forcing Shane to swallow his ejaculate, but being willing to swallow Shane's. These like little signals that we have, but we don't often see in media. I think because a lot of times people are afraid to have these conversations because they don't want to say the wrong thing. I don't know exactly how this went down behind the scenes, but I would imagine it was really helpful to have an intimacy coordinator there to facilitate those
sure.
conversations. I don't know how much of this was written in the script as opposed to decided on later, but I feel like having someone who can offer that language is always so helpful because then you can get specific storytelling like this.
This is episode 2, Olympians. Timestamp is 8:53.
Oh, cuties.
The mutual pulling by the back of the head is so great.
It is.
And now they're in bed and they're kissing.
Y'all audience, I don't know if you know, like, it's very hard to be holding each other's heads and faces and not block the other person's face from camera.
Yes. He's got a whole bunch of condoms ready.
And they're all Magna.
Yeah.
Regular condoms can fit a watermelon, so
It's all marketing.
probably not comfortably. I can't speak to it.
Yeah.
Anyway.
We're seeing more of that chest action that you mentioned earlier.
Chest moment, man.
Because they both have really developed pecs, so you do have
They
something
do.
to grab onto. Okay, now Shane's knees are closer towards his head. He's being penetrated for the first time.
And his legs are really high up, which they would have to be.
I know you weren't a fan of the fade in and out, but it's kind of reminding me of like older romantic movies. I want to say from like the 90s, where we're like fading in and out between moments and kind of how it's all blurry. I feel like it adds a specific romance.
I think I know what my issue is. It's not that it fades in and out, it like fades out and then it's back. Like, I think I would like it more if it was a little smoother.
So Ilya is now behind Shane, who's on all fours.
The check-ins!
The check-ins! Yes!
Yeah, so good.
I also love how they're getting the full, like, romantic lead treatment. We're seeing them silhouetted in profile with the light.
Simulating anal penetrative sex is very hard to do because you have to be like much higher up than people think you'd need to be, and the spacing is perfect.
I love it.
It's so cute. He's right in the crook of his armpit. I love it.
He's right in that nook. That's something the show does a lot, is it shows the aftercare. Okay. I need to see that fucking back arch. Because Ilya won, Shane promised that he will do anything he wants. And so Shane is showing up to Ilya's place to give that gift.
I think I changed my mind that the other scene was not too long. The second time around.
This one, they're really playing into the power dynamics of the relationship a lot more.
We still have the folding of the things.
Shane is Shane, you know?
Unless... Nope, he's folded it. Okay.
Yep, he folded his shirt too.
I was like, maybe he's just gonna throw it this time. No. Oh, and this is just so real, like the pulling down of the underwear and pulling it up to adjust. These are really small, really human moments that I appreciate.
Also, his uncertainty of like, well, I don't want to take my underwear off. Your room has these giant windows floor to ceiling. Even though they don't seem close to another building, he still feels exposed.
So far away from the rest of the world.
A metaphor.
This is the year for semi-dom-sub relationships.
It sure is.
He's bratty.
He is a bratty bottom.
Yeah, a little bit.
And he kind of plays into that too here. He's like, I'm going to work up to it. I'm touching my neck. I'm going down my chest. Like, I'm not immediately going to give you the thing that you asked for.
I need you to pause for a sec. I one time had a scene to work on where it was a male self-pleasuring. That was the whole scene. We were talking about how to get to that position. We were like, maybe you reach the back of your neck. And the director and I kind of both were like playing with the idea of maybe he like touches down his chest and gets to his genitalia. But then he was like, men don't do that. Men absolutely don't touch their chest before they do that. And I was like, okay, respect. And maybe this is why folks want male intimacy coordinators. Maybe they know more than I do about the specificity of the male experience. But here, he does it, And it looks very real.
Vindication.
I mean, he's putting on a bit of a show, but like, also he's putting his hand on his pectoral, which he knows Ilya is really into.
I love that for you.
Thank you. Justified.
This is also episode 2, Olympians. Timestamp is 35:23.
Fucking asshole. I can barely describe it. Oh my god, all of it.
Holding the cup.
The
Okay,
trophy that he won.
Thank you for explaining that, because I did not know. I thought he meant the cup in his hand. I'm like, I don't get the joke.
No, the trophy that he won. Shane just threw his underwear at him and now has his legs open, but we still don't see anything.
He's still pleasuring himself in this voyeurism way, performative. Oh, this! Oh, yeah, this was good.
Shane gets down on his stomach and pleasures Ilya. Oh, this is the back arch. This is it, actually. Shane's on all fours. Ilya's behind him, and Shane's back is arched.
Gorgeous.
That back arch moment, people have been talking about that. Gay men have been talking about that all over the internet. And I love it. Not only is it like an attractive position, but it's probably realistically the position you would get into in order to be anally penetrated from behind.
There are so many nerve endings there. And yeah, of course, it runs up the spine. So your back automatically would want to arch from that position. I get it. And it's beautiful. It makes sense. I even love when he goes to pleasure Ilya that he kind of is like a little awkward on the bed, spread out on his stomach a little bit. I'm like, yeah, because that's the fastest way to get from point A to point B. I like that the show doesn't try to be too precious about making everyone look so stunning all the time. Like, they have human flaws in the way in which they're maneuvering around sex and sexual activity. Although they themselves are looking very beautiful on camera. But I just think like their bodies in space can be a little awkward sometimes. And I appreciate that.
That's also so important to show in media because we have terrible sex education in this country. So people are learning from media. So if all you see is if we're supposed to be together, we have to have perfect sex straight from the beginning. There can't be any awkwardness. It ruins the vibe. Then that's what you're going to think. But if you see this, you go, okay, yeah, like I can be in kind of a weird position, or maybe there's a noise I didn't mean to make, or a face, or, whatever, and can still have a great experience with this other person. And they're not less attracted to me because of it. These are two people who don't perform for each other.
And they perform for everyone else in multiple ways.
They are entertainers. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Rapid fire spice scale.
Rapid fire spice scale. All right, well, welcome to the rapid fire spice scale, our not so scientific way of rating intimacy scenes based on consent and power dynamics, technical craft and coordination excellence, and heat factor. Each category gets a score from 1 to 5, with 5 being the highest. Then we add it all up to give the scene a final letter grade. So let's start with consent and power dynamics. For me, it's a 5.
5.
5. Loved it. All right, great. Technical craft and coordination excellence. I mean, I would say a 6, if not a 5. So it's 5.
5 on 5 on 5.
All right, and heat factor. 5s all around on my end.
I agree.
Great. We have given this an A. Although it remains to be seen for the rest of the show. Stay tuned. We may have a part 2.
So far, so good. That concludes this very special bonus episode on Heated Rivalry. But
yay!
Before we let you go, we have some special words for you, dear listener/watcher.
Thanks for listening to not only this bonus episode of Faking It, but to all episodes. This is a taste of the type of exclusive content you'll have access to if you subscribe to our Patreon.
And before we let you leave us, we wanted to thank you for all of your support of Faking It so far.
When we started this podcast in September, we had no idea what the reception would be, and you have all blown us away with your engagement and kind words.
So thank you again. We have got some exciting things lined up for next year, and we can't wait to share them with you.
As always, you can find us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or anywhere else you get your podcasts. New episodes drop every other Wednesday. Hump day.
And our next episode will be January 7th.
Yes, January 7th. Thank you.
If this was good for you, the best way to support our show is to follow the podcast and leave a quick rating or review. It takes less than 30 seconds, and it really does help.
Tell one friend who loves spicy movie secrets about us, and find us on social media at Faking It the Pod.
Stay real, fakers.
Woo! Stay real, faker! Happy New Year! New Year!
Faking It with Ariel and Morgan is produced independently by Ariel Lee Cohen and Morgan Smith, edited by Ariel, and social media and branding by Morgan. Our theme song is Faking It by Suno AI until we get monetized, so feel free to send us a new one. Have questions, thoughts, or media recommendations? Hit us up at fakingthepod.com. Find us on all socials at Faking the Pod and head over to our Patreon for bonus content. Credits for the film or show we reacted to are in the episode caption.